We wobbly. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Town of Ocean Ridge Commission meeting for November. Is this thing working? Yeah. Kelly, could you call roll, please?
Sure can. Commissioner Ayala,
Here.
Commissioner Hutchins,
Here.
Commissioner Cassidy, here, Vice Mayor Cos,
Here.
and Mayor Pugh.
Here. Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, everyone, you have the agenda in front of you. Are there any deletions, additions, or modifications?
Mr. Mayor, I do ask for you to delete one item off of the agenda, and that would be item number 11.
Number 11.
Yes, sir.
Deleted.
I need to gather more information and I'll bring that back to you at a different time.
All righty. Is there anything else? All right. Is there a motion on the floor?
I move to accept the agenda as amended.
All right, motion and second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, presentation and proclamations. There are none. All right. Announcements. Kelly?
Okay, got a bunch of them. The meeting schedule for the next month is as follows. The next regular town commission meeting will be Monday, December 1st at 6 p.m. We have canceled the code enforcement hearing for tomorrow. The planning and zoning board meeting will be on Tuesday, November 18th at 9 a.m. and all meetings are held in the commission chambers at Town Hall. The 2025 special general election for District 90 will be held on Tuesday, December 9th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the community room at the Ocean Ridge Town Hall. Please know that Town Hall will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th in observance of the Veterans Day holiday, as well as they'll be closed on Thursday, November 27th and Friday, November 28th in observance of the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Please also join us Friday, December 5th from 5 to 7 p.m. for the annual Light the Lights holiday event, which will be held at Town Hall. Please check the town's website for more details to come. As you're all aware, the annual municipal election will be held on March 10th, 2026. There will be 2 town commission seats open for a 3-year term. Candidate filing dates ran from today at noon through November 14th at noon in the town's clerk's office. Residents who wish to sign up to receive important town notifications and news through Civic Ready should sign up on the town's website or call Town Hall for assistance.
All right. Well, I'd just like to add one thing. I just want to say for the election, I really hope that Commissioners Cassidy and Commissioners Hutchins put their paperwork in, because I think that this is one of the best commissions we've had in a very, very long time. And really, I got your support.
Get your paperwork in. Get your paperwork.
It's in. It's in.
It's we got a good band going here.
And the addition of Michelle.
Oh,
It's
I didn't,
great.
well, addition Michelle and the rest of the staff
Yeah.
has been, I know, it's been a pleasure. It is a pleasure, not been, it's been a pleasure. So, thank you. All right, public comment. Hello, Rick.
Rick Curie, 39 Spanish River Drive. So nice to see everyone. And I just wanted to draw everybody's attention to something that has been in the background for a long time, and that's the continued flooding issues on Spanish River Drive. This morning at high tide, the water was up to where it touched from both sides of the road. It's gotten to the point that we're along my property. I've had to put markers so that people know where the edge of the road is because the water gets so high. And it's on a beautiful day like today where there's no clouds in the sky or anything. Simply put, the road is at an elevation that's lower than high tide. And something's got to be done about it. It's not an easy fix, I'm sure. It's going to take budget dollars and engineering planning. But it's something that needs to be addressed and planned on so that 1 or 2 years down the road, we can actually get the work done, similar to what was done on Inlet K Drive and on Eleuthera Drive.
Yeah.
And the elevation of the road was raised there, and I think it's really solved the problems there. But in this location, it traps people. If there was a storm, a heavy deluge during a time when it was high tide, you're unable to get out. It's a public safety issue. And it really will take some planning. It'll take some money. And it needs to be addressed. I'm sorry, I didn't know there's a workshop today, or I'd have come to the workshop and said, put it on the agenda. So please take a chance to focus on this, put some budget dollars aside. We've done it before. I know there's solutions. I think the engineering on it's tricky. But what choice do we have? We can't have our roads flooded and have public safety issues. So really appreciate you giving it attention.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Michelle, would you put that on your list that we have? Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll invite you over someday on a rainy day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We moved you
Uh,
back.
Terry Brown Harbor Drive South. I'm going to bring up something that, like Rick, is not quite as serious as his issue. It depends on how you look at it. But it's something that's creeping up in town, and it has to do with e-bikes. And there's a lot of them around. They're fun. Lucy and I used to own them, but we got rid of them because we thought that would be a very bad thing to fall off an e-bike. They'd be scraping me up with a spatula. Anyway, they're everywhere now, and they're going up the deck on Porter Street. David will tell you there was a problem a few years ago with bikes up there, but the previous police administration, Jones, came up with a solution. That seems to work, although there are some violations with people who love to ride up there on the e-bike and turn around and go back. Someday they're going to run into some walker going by, but they're on the sidewalk. They go through the stop signs. I know the police have given tickets to people on pedal bikes for going through a stop sign on Old Ocean. So there has to be some policy. I know that some municipalities are looking at the use of e-bikes and trying to restrict them or code them. They're vehicles, right? So they can be, if they're bicycles, they're vehicles. If you can give a bicycle a ticket, you can give an e-bike a ticket. So someone needs to look into that to see if you need to change your code. See if we could, I'm not suggesting you can have a police officer on every street corner because that isn't possible. But something's going to happen. Lucy and I occasionally go down to the natural area on Corinne. I have a special parking spot from one of my neighbors that allows me to park in front of Stan and Barbara's house. And we walk down to that little bench up on the deck. We don't go all the way to the end because I can't make it that far. And we sit and smooch for a while and then come back. Smooch? Yeah, you know, old people smooch. They do that in Briny all the time. At any rate, as we were coming back and I'm holding on to Lucy, these two kids in big e-bikes were roaring down from Corinne. And I thought, well, they're going to slow down and let us pass. And they must have been going 30 miles an hour on that little sidewalk. And they didn't slow down. And they hit that wooden deck and went all the way out to the end. But if they had run into me, somebody would be in big trouble. I mean, I don't know whose liability that is. I know that the county and the city has a written agreement about how to use that right of way. And the county takes care of the deck. Although they don't have a warden, by the way. They used to have a warden for a natural area.
Yeah.
They don't have wardens anymore. They got rid of all those people. So I don't know who polices that. Do the police go all the way down to the end? I know, they're supposed to. We had someone camping down there with campfires and everything at one point. Anyway, the e-bikes need to look at, I think, and there's municipalities looking at it. So.
Chief?
We're looking at buying our very own.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't give your.
To chase the e-bikes that are running around.
And the speed bikes.
Can I ask you a question? Are they are allowed on sidewalks or they are not?
For pedestrian sidewalk, they should resort to the road and flow with the traffic. I know in every town, it is a problem now with the e-bikes. I mean, Jupiter had a real problem with it. We'll try to see what we can come up with.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you. Anyone else? Christine?
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. I can't compete with the smooching at all. But it was a nice addition. I just wanted to say, I was the only resident that came to your workshop and it was amazing. It was professional, it was well thought out, it was informative, and Commissioner, I can only pronounce your first name. I'm so sorry. Alan. Did a yeoman's job in terms of trying to prepare us for the next 10 years. What are our expenses going to be? What are our revenues going to be? There's a lot of unknown and a lot of crazy variables that jump up. But to have this level of professionalism is delightful. And I just wanted all of you who did not come to understand that they are doing an absolute amazing job. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kathy O'Mara, she and Andre, and I live at 5578 North Ocean Boulevard. I'm here on behalf of Starbright Civic Collective to invite everyone to our event on November 19th here, 4 to 6, where we'll be introducing Tinkerbell, our drone, and it'll be demonstrated. Correct, right? Yes. Okay, to showcase its life-saving features. And the event, we're calling it Thanks for Giving. And it's to thank our donors in town who made this possible. And I hope everyone will join us. I have some flyers if anyone's interested. So,
Thank you.
4 PM to 6 on Wednesday, the 19th. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're going to leave the flyers with the town clerk? Hello, Betty.
To speak to the flooding problem. When
What
they
problem?
built Ocean Avenue,
Okay.
they put in culverts and a pan in the center of the road. And the commission fought the state for I don't know how long to put a flat valve at the end of the pipe in the inland waterway. Now, the flooding of Ocean Avenue, you could sit down there and watch it flooding out of the culverts on both sides of the road. And this is a matter of a bigger entity not paying any attention to a smaller entity. And I think we ought to do something. They can put a gooseneck, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
A gooseneck or a flat valve or something at the end of that pipe. So, and I also toured a lot of the roads, and I don't know who put the drains in on some of the part, but it was coming up from the drainage, not coming over the banks. And whatever entity is responsible for that, we ought to find them, make them give us the money, and we'll fix it if they can't.
Thank you, Betty.
Good point.
We brought that up today in workshop.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
My name is Eric Brief. I live at 8 Sailfish Lane. Been a resident here for about 33 years. And I've been in front of this group before, not this exact people, but about blight. And we don't hear about blight a lot in our town, but it exists and it's not being dealt with. And it's a real problem, and you're going to have a problem on your hands. And I've tried to be patient, but I'm just going to give you a few quick examples. We have a VRBO behind us that is renting daily, and we get woken up almost every morning, kids screaming in the pool. And when I call the town, the police say it's not their responsibility, which I understand. And we've been told that there's now the code enforcer is not a employee. He's outside contractor, and we get charged every time we bring him in. They were issued a citation. They just switched websites. So I called the second time. As far as I know, nothing was done about it. Steve has been great. I've talked to Steve about this, and I'll give him a chance to respond. So I appreciate everything you tried. That's number one. Number two is the house next to me on the other side is parking 2 cars on the lawn pretty much every day, overnight. Initially, when I called the town, the woman at the police service said, that's okay, they can do that. Then she did call me back and say, no, it's not okay. Somebody went there, and then within a few days, they were back at it again, parking both cars on the street.
Across from me, for historical purposes, is the old Vera Klein house, with all due respect. And the house, and this is a fact, nothing has been done to the front yard in over 25 years. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. So there's concrete chips, ground, their deck, their garage is being held up by 2x4s. In their driveway, there's a refrigerator, there's garbage, there's trash, and the policeman told me yesterday, I think that's fine because they have a construction permit. The house next to that has, the grass is 2 feet high. Nothing's been done about that. So I don't know why I have to continually be the bad guy here. On top of that, a house down the street from us has been cited because they would keep their grill, propane tanks, lawn chairs, garbage on their driveway continually. And I had to call about 7 times before they were cited. And now it's all back again. So I'm trying to be very respectful to this town because I love it. I'm a participant. I built a house here. I've been involved. But if this doesn't get resolved, and again, today the answer was, well, a code enforcer, we don't have one. So we want to be careful about bringing a code enforcer in because we have to pay every time, is not an acceptable answer.
That's not acceptable.
You're probably looking at a bunch of residents getting together to sue the town over this because it's hurting our lifestyle and our real estate values. And I really don't want it to come to that. So I've been doing this. I've been up here. Steve can tell you, I've been coming for 10 years. And I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And it's going to get ugly. I think the last thing we want are headlines where Ocean Ridge is blighted. And that's going to be the headline. So I would appreciate any help we can get.
I spoke to Michelle today about the situation with the Airbnb.
Okay.
And she's on that. I don't know if Michelle's familiar with the history of that street.
I'm not.
Is that on
I'm so
Hershey,
sorry.
the one that's
No,
right?
Sailfish Lane.
Sailfish
The
Lane.
Airbnb is on Hersey,
Yeah,
directly behind me, as it turns out.
okay,
The other 3 are all on Sailfish Lane.
yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah.
But we cleaned up the one at the far end of your street got cleaned up. Remember he had a deck that didn't have protections on it and all that?
Right, it's back at it. There's a propane tank in the driveway and stuff like that. That's the least of the worries right now. It's the 2 feet grass and the one directly across from me that's being held up by 2x4s. And there's cement chips all over. You know, they took
Yeah.
cement that broke and they used that to decorate the front yard.
And the one across the street from you that has the sort of rubble and the 2x4s holding up the carport, you said a construction permit. That's been going on for a very long time.
Very long time. And candidly, my son and his fiance were living there
Yes.
and they felt unsafe. I mean, they called me and said, we can't stay here because there's constantly 8 guys out there, you know, just making comments and, you know, I don't know if they're approved contractors. I don't know what the case was. People are coming and going. And again, there's refrigerators out there. There's garbage cans in the driveway. I'm not talking about on garbage day. I mean, if you get a chance, something's got to be done or else, you know, we're going to be forced to do something. And I really don't want to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Can I ask a question about, so, our
When it's
code,
done?
sorry?
Now or when it's done?
Oh, I can wait.
Good evening. My name's John Curcio. I live at 17 Coconut Lane, right around the corner. My wife and I moved in at the beginning of this year. And I have 2 issues. Before I do that, though, I want to just thank you all. As a former president of an HOA for 10 years, I appreciate everything that you do. I know many days it feels like a thankless job, but we're glad you're here. So I have 2 topics. One, and there's a theme obviously with flooding, over here on Coconut Lane. Whenever we have any sort of king tides, high tides, whatever it is, and the rain is even slightly above normal, the entire street is covered in several feet of water and it washes up on driveways. For the 4 homes it's our home at 17, 11 next door, and then the 2 houses across. So there's literally a belly right in the street from one end to the other, and it all settles. Billy did an amazing job with this last storm. He said he pumped almost 700,000 gallons of water, yet we still had this flooding. And if you go out there today, it doesn't sound like the same issue as the first gentleman who spoke, but there's still standing water. weeks later. So I know you've already passed this coming year's budget cycle, but maybe you look at the three things that were raised here today and have, more of a full, complete view to help the three folks that came up and talked about their streets. So that was the first thing. Whatever you can do to give us attention there, we would really greatly appreciate it. The second topic is next door to us at 11 Coconut Lane. I alerted, I think it was Steve from enforcement back in May, that the home next door, while it doesn't sound like it has the overgrown landscaping, if you ever take a look at this home, no one lives there. The owner shows up occasionally. They cut the vegetation somewhat, but what's really concerning to me is there are numerous health and safety violations. You have power lines that are within anybody's reach, that are attaching to the house. Anybody can just go there and start pulling those down. The fence, which actually connects right on the other side of the town property, there's a pool in the back and the fence is down on both sides. The house has clear mold and structural issues where the overhangs are literally hanging down from the house, and there's openings all around. And last but not least, it's literally overrun with raccoons, iguanas, and all kinds of other wildlife. So I'd really appreciate it if we can do something about that, since we did bring it up back in May. There's my 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, closing public comment, bring it back to the commission. Move to the approval of the consent agenda.
So
Sure.
moved.
Can we comment on anything that was just
Sure.
brought up? Just with the code enforcement issue, because I've asked about this before, and I know Steve took another job. We're looking to fill that spot. But when someone calls with a code enforcement issue, that's the trigger for the code enforcement to go out, correct? So, that no one should ever be told that there's no code enforcer, even when we don't have someone in that role at the moment.
Well, the building official can do it though.
Yeah.
If we don't have a code enforcement, the building
that's what
official
I
can
mean.
go out there. So I don't know who's saying that we don't have a code enforcement guy, because we do all the time.
Yeah.
Whether we have a specific guy or it's a building official, both of them can do code enforcement.
Right.
And if it comes down to it,
Sometimes
the
people
chief
get-
of police can do
I mean,
code
yeah.
enforcement.
Sometimes people get the wrong information when they
Yeah.
call, though. That's the problem. And then just about VRBOs and Airbnbs, there's a 30-day minimum. That's
That's it.
enforceable, right?
That's in our town ordinance.
But that guy's been cited once already, maybe twice. So the question I had for Michelle, when does it reach the level where we can start saying, look, you're getting a $500 a day fine?
That's
'Cause this guy's ignoring it.
question for the town attorney.
With the vacation rentals, if we have evidence to bring forward, we often do. And if they're found in violation, then their maximum fine is $250 per day.
For how long before we then say?
Till they come into compliance. Once they come into compliance, there's no more fines. But keep in mind with code enforcement, there's always two bites at the apple. By law, we have to give them the initial notice of violation of how they're in violation and give them a reasonable time to come into compliance. If they do, the case goes no further and we close it. If they don't come into compliance, then we take them to the magistrate. By law, the magistrate has to give them time to come into compliance. If they do, no fines are assessed. We do charge administrative fees, but that's all we can get. Now, if they're found in violation and they repeat the violation, then you can ratchet the fines up, and the fines start as soon as the repeat violation is observed. So then you're talking about a fine of up to $500 a day. But getting them to the magistrate hearing and having that initial finding of violation is often the trouble we run into, because with these vacation rentals, they'll come into compliance within the time the town originally sets. So they never go to a hearing. So we have to stay on top of them to make sure that we have evidence, and obviously having neighbors come in to testify would be helpful. Take them before the magistrate so that there's always a finding of violation. Then we can get a repeat.
I guess my question is, in Eric's case, right, the guy was busted for Airbnb. So he stopped that, waited a few days, a week, I don't know how long he waited, then he went to another service. So he came in compliance, so nothing happened to him. Now he violates it a second time in a different time frame. is that considered a fresh one?
It's a brand new violation because you have to have a finding by the magistrate that they were in violation. Now, what we can do is if they don't correct the violation by the time we say, but they come into compliance before the hearing, we can still take them to a hearing for a find of a violation. And that's what we can start doing with some of these vacation rentals. So then we have the ability to go after them for a repeat violation.
So we should just start doing that now.
Yeah.
And we certainly
Even
can.
if they come in compliance, we push forward with the fact they were in compliance. So it's on the books, it's on the record.
Additionally, my friends on Coconut, we spoke about Coconut.
So like
today
coconut
during-
today, as a matter of fact.
During the workshop and the needs that are obvious there. We have addressed the home that's next door. They are sometimes responsive, sometimes unresponsive, but again, there's a progressive opportunity for us to finally bring them towards a code enforcement closure by bringing them in front of a magistrate, basically. I mean, that's where we're going when they don't respond. But I will call FPNL again because I thought that they were coming out to address the line
line.
issue. Right, so, okay, so I'll definitely do that again. And we, you know, as during our one-on-ones, I know for sure the mayor and I have spoke about this, and then randomly, the rest of us have spoken about the fact that we don't have commercial properties within our town, and so we are dependent on the high property values and maintaining high property values. And so it is important for us to not have blight. And so it is a goal for us to make sure that we live up to the mission, which the mission of this town is actually to make sure that it is a beautiful town.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, we'll get there. And I will follow up with everybody as soon as I know more. But correct, Commissioner Cassie is correct. The third party the consultant that we contract with for our building services, they provide code enforcement. And so as of maybe 2 months ago, we have not had a code enforcement officer. We've had some sporadic fill-ins, but I'd like to, compliment the staff that is operating. So Billy, our public works supervisor, has stepped in and provided some coverage there. And also our police department, which is, that's always a sticky for me because I want everybody to see our police department as one, keepers of our law enforcement, but also approachable. And so it takes a soft hand sometimes. So asking, like Officer Deb in the back, she's done more than a handful of calls for us in just in the last 2 weeks. So we are addressing certain things, and some that are just repeat offenders, they're just getting a mailing from us and being called in front of a magistrate at this point.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead. The approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Is it?
I guess we gotta talk like right to the
Yeah,
microphone.
closer.
About that?
I move to approve the consent agenda. Can you hear that?
No, you gotta go read.
Second.
You gotta be like right on it like that.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We never had this problem.
No, you gotta turn the microphones up a little bit. Okay, is the second motion and second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We don't need we don't need to repeat everything that happened before that, do we? Okay, we're good. All right. All right, back onto the regular agenda items. And number 11's been canceled, so we're on number 12.
Number 12, and I'll read it into the record. So severe storms during the first week of October generated heavy wave action, resulting in significant sand erosion at several of the town's beach access points, most notably Anna Street and Edith Street. In the town's best interest, staff promptly contacted the contractor who had previously stabilized these access points in past years. The contractor provided a reasonable proposal to secure the unstable areas and to repair and rebuild the damaged structures on an expedited schedule. Staff is requesting ratification of emergency procurement for the stabilization and repair of the town's beach access points, which required immediate action due to unsafe conditions following the October storm event. And I had somebody visit today asking when it was going to be done because they saw work beginning. And so our hope is that they are both completed by the end of next week.
Oh, wow.
Fingers crossed with weather.
What is there a motion?
So we should take a vote. I move to approve the emergency.
The ratification of
Second.
emergency procurement.
Motion and second, public comment? Public comment? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carried. All right, staff and committee reports. Michelle?
No updates, sir.
All right. Christie?
No report tonight. Thank you.
All right. Steve, you're gonna make it 3 for 3?
Oh, you have my report. If you have any questions, I'm here. I was just gonna mention one thing, Officer Deb did start a toy drive. For the Christmas that, supports the Speak Up for Kids, Guardian Ad Litem. We do it big every year. You can bring, your toys into the front lobby there and she'll be happy to take care of them. And,
Toy drive. Got the toy drive coming up, so I'm speaking in the microphone, chief, because it's hard for me even to hear you, so.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's the age bracket that's preferred? It's. Wow.
All right. Well, we'll fill up the room again. We did last year, didn't we? Fill up the whole room? Yeah.
And Lieutenant gave me some information on sailfish. We were there today. 5 and 7 tropical. They're supposed to be cutting the grass. He also said that there are active permits and that the fridge is in the carport, but the officer suggested they move it elsewhere. So they were there today. We'll investigate further.
Okay. Fire chief, good to see you. When's the boat ready?
Yes.
When's the boat ready?
Vice Mayor,
We're all waiting
Commissioners.
for the boat ride.
Good evening. Hopefully next month. We will have it.
Really?
Won't be in service till January, but if any of you are in our city and you go by Harvey Oyer Park, you'll see that the public safety dock is being built as we speak. So we're pretty excited about that. And we will be moving our 17-foot rigid hull inflatable, which our brave men and women are utilizing in the seas to, perform rescues. So we'll be moving those assets there once the public safety dock is complete. I have some very interesting, well, before we get started, actually, after last month's presentation, we actually did change this round circle that looked like Motel 6. So that's actually going to be a Maltese cross. So if you look at my badge, the symbol that's on every firefighter's chest is the Maltese cross on the badge. So
Get that out of your head, good.
no, well, of course, nothing for the commissioner, but that did hit the Coastal Star. So I did get some phone calls on the Motel 6, but no, we had planned on, it was a great suggestion and it's being changed to a Maltese cross. But again, we're super excited, but I do want to share with you some interesting data. So between September and October, we actually had just about a 50% increase in call volume within the town just in that 1 month. So we ran 21 calls last month. What's interesting is even with the increase in call volume, we had a reduction in response time. So for me, that is, and for you all and your constituents, that is the most important thing, especially with heart attacks or strokes. So last month we ran 9, the month before we ran 9 emergency medical service advanced life support calls. In October, we ran 13 of those, which require transportation to the hospital. And I'm just so proud of the men and women because we had a 3-minute and 14-second response time.
Wow.
So even with the bridge, even with coming across from Boynton, literally a 3-minute and 14-second response time. Now, the overall response time, which included 4 false alarms, that was a 6-minute and 33-second, and the public assist were 4 minutes and 49 seconds, but those are what we consider non-emergency calls. So we won't be tearing around with lights and sirens and not being safe to the community. But it's those critical calls. It's the fires and the EMS calls where, the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So last month we had 4 minutes and 41 seconds, which is actually our average is 4 minutes and 20 seconds across the board throughout the entire city and all of my contract cities because we serve 4 other municipalities besides Boynton. So, I'm very excited about that fact that although our call volume seems to be increasing and it will throughout the season, our response times are still astounding. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, thank you so much.
My
That is
pleasure.
astounding.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
that.
Any other questions? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
How long would it take you to get the fuel on that boat that you're having done? Has anyone done a test on this boat? We're backing up the trucks. Yeah, so interesting, and I'll address all of you. So interestingly enough, once the fireboat arrives, that's going to be another tremendous asset that we'll be able to utilize to fight fire. Now, if it's an oceanfront property, as what we had a few years ago, we had the second house or the third house in from when you come over the bridge.
that was a fairly significant fire in that house that was caused by some batteries that caused fire in the back of the property. I think we had about a 4-minute response time to that property. Now, any of the properties that are on the intercoastal or the waterways, the fireboat is going to be instrumental. But as part of the fireboat, as part of New Fire Station 6, we're moving an advanced life support technical rescue squad, which is a 6th fire engine in the city. So besides us putting a 6th rescue in service, we're also putting a 6th fire engine in service. So the individuals on that fire truck are also going to cross-staff the fireboat. So we're going to have adequate resources. And of course, we do share with all of our other municipalities. We do have mutual aid agreements. But for us, we want to try to mitigate that with our resources. Sir?
You have a response time from your side to this side.
No,
We don't have the boat yet.
Well, we do have the rigid hull inflatable. No,
So why don't
so
we wait till we get the boat and then we'll
Yeah.
get the response
Well,
time?
we do-
How about that?
we'll let you know, but we do have the rigid hull inflatable now, and that boat, until the dock is in place, is being trailered from headquarters, which is a 3-minute response to get the boat in the water, and another 2 or 3 minutes for us to get to the inlet. So we're still getting to the inlet in less than 6 minutes. Once the fireboat is there, it's going to be a 2 to 3 minute response. So
Thank you, chief.
my pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Any other town commissioner comments?
I just, a quick, I should have said it during announcements, but on Tuesday, the 12th, there is going to be a debate, or it's a candidate forum, sponsored by the League of Women Voters at the Palm Beach County Library System, which is, I think, Hagan Ranch Road. And this is to fill Joe Casello's seat. So we have Maria Zach won the Republican primary and Rob Long from Delray. And then there's a third candidate. I can't remember her name, but that's going to be on Wednesday evening, 12th,
Thank
for
you.
those who are interested.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I guess we'll see you next month, and don't forget, light the lights.
Yeah.
So meeting adjourned.